So in this video we're going to have an introduction to Xcode on the Mac, and by the end of it you'll be able to compile simple C++ code and prove that your system is working. So let's dive straight in. Okay, so over here on my Mac, Xcode has finished downloading. There you go, it's got a proper icon and things. So I'm going to open it. Another way to open that, of course, is to go to Spotlight, which you can go Command and Space and then type Xcode. So Xcode opens. Now you may get a starting screen like this. If you've used Xcode before, then you might have a load of windows open. You can check your Windows menu if you do. Just close all those windows and let's just create a new Xcode project. The other way you can do that is File and New and then Project. So what type are we going to have to use to use C++? Well, depending on the type you use here, you may or may not get access to C++. So we're going to make an OS X application and again, a command line tool. I say again because that's what I just did with the PC people in the previous video. So I want you to choose OS X application, command line tool, and then next.
Hello everybody, Michael here. On the latest version of macOS, this is ever so slightly different. Let me just show you what we're going to do here. So I'm going to go ahead and launch Xcode as you would do normally. And obviously, if you've got additional components to install, we need to go ahead and do that. So sometimes that happens, especially if you've just updated everything like I've just done. And there we go. Once it's launched, we can create a new Xcode project. And this is where it's ever so slightly different on the new setups. And there we go. We can see that I've already got to the place, but let's just show you because it may be on one of these other tabs at the very top. You want to make sure it's selected on macOS. And then we go to Command Line Tool and go ahead, click Next. And there we go. I'll hand you back over to Ben.
Let's just call this Hello World. Now the important thing is that you have an organization identifier, put something in there, I'm putting Embrace IT, and that the language is set to C++. Okay, so settings something like this. The only one that actually matters is C++. Then where are we going to save that? Well, I'm going to save that as into this Downloads folder, replacing what I've already got. And here we go. Now we're in Xcode. Lots of new stuff going on the screen. So you have a view menu. If you find that you don't have any of the panes that I'm looking at, then you can come into this view menu and you can choose, say, Show Standard Editor, Show Standard Editor, and then that will allow you to come back to a layout, something like this. But what we're looking for on the left-hand side in this bit here, which is the showing all the files of the solution, is main CPP. So double-click that, and it'll pop up in a separate window. Or if you don't want a separate window, you can just click on it, and it'll come up here. As long as you can see the code, it doesn't matter. Now let's briefly overview what we can see. The green things are comments, so this is ignored by the computer. This is just for you. Xcode automatically puts all this stuff in for us. And then we have a hash include IO stream here. It's a little bit different to what the PC guys saw in Visual Studio. They had it to actually add this line themselves, but in this case, Xcode is including it. Now, what a hash include does is it gives your code access to other code. And what it's giving us access to in this case is something called an IO stream or input-output stream. And that's going to allow us to write out to the console. And what I want you to do is just find this main function here, and then between return and the comment that is automatically there, I want you to write this line. And I'll rewrite it for you, std : So that is looking inside the standard, what we call namespace. A namespace is a gathering of methods that you can call upon. cout, which is short for character output. And then you need a double back chevron like that. And then you need to say hello world. And then we do a \n to represent a new line. Notice how Xcode automatically closing your quotes for you and then a semicolon on the end. Okay, so that's the line you need. And then we simply go up here. Product run. Now it's going to build succeeded with any luck. If it doesn't, then you've written something slightly differently to this, so just check it very carefully, character by character. And down here in the output, and if you can't see the output, then you can toggle it up, view, and then debug area, and then activate console, or shift, command and C. And that'll bring the console up here, and we can see hello world. And then the program ended with exit code 0. Perfect. So this proves that Xcode can compile your code. Now, compiling means taking this code that we will learn to read through the course of the course. You're not just going to be following me writing code. All of this is going to be explained carefully as we go through. But it takes this stuff, this text, and it turns it into a format the computer can actually run. So congratulations, you've just written a ridiculously basic C++ program, but it does prove you've got your environment all set up and ready. And that means that when in the next video we go into Unreal Engine, it's going to be happy because it'll have a C++ compilation pathway that it can use to actually build games. So well done, and I'll see you in the next video.